We'll cover the second half of the class in 15 minutes. So at some point in these 25 pages, he says, Dhammarashita says, you know, I figured it out. I know who really caused this. I know what really caused this, and I'm not going to do it anymore. He says, you know, I'm stopping this now, and I'm not going to continue to engage in this. I'm putting a stop to it. I understand where this suffering came from, and where this pain came from, and I'm going to stop it. So about the middle of the text, he gets very wrathful. This is where the bowing down to the Lord of Death comes in. He gets very wrathful in the middle of the text, and he's like, wait a friggin' minute, you know, I know what's going on here. I know where these things are coming from. I know what's happening. All these things are happening to me because of my self-cherishing mind. My self-cherishing mind is causing me all this pain and all this suffering. And then the fact that I don't see emptiness, the fact that I don't understand reality, these are the real demons here. And my own mind is the demon, my own inability to understand emptiness. And so he goes into this sort of wrathful Lord of Death thing where he changes his mood and his tenor, and he says, you know, I'm going to destroy this thing. I'm going to destroy this thing which is hurting me. This is my enemy, and this is a demon, and I'm going to destroy it. So he gets mad at his own ignorance. And the rest of the Lojong is this heavy tantric thing where he turns into the Lord of Death, and he's slicing and cutting at his own self-cherishing and his inability to understand emptiness. And so it becomes this very powerful thing where he's swearing to destroy his enemy and to decimate them, and he recognizes who the true enemy is, which is his ignorance and self-existent thinking. So on the homework it asks, who is the henchman of the devil, which is what he calls it in the text. And so there's a twofold answer. One is just taking care of number one, looking out for number one all the time first. And then that's who causes all the suffering and sets in motion this boomerang, this wheel of knives, which comes back and slices us. Trying to make ourselves happy before other people, right? My happiness always comes first. And so if I had understood emptiness, it would have never happened in the first place, right? So he's going to slice open this ignorance. And Arya Nagarjuna says very clearly that unless you understand emptiness, unless you are aware of the emptiness behind all of your emotions, you cannot deal with your mental afflictions. If you don't understand the emptiness of your mental afflictions, your emotional afflictions, you cannot successfully deal with them. It's impossible for a human being to stop mental afflictions without understanding emptiness, without perceiving emptiness directly. So it's just impossible. So Arya Nagarjuna says, you know, you just can't do it. It's not possible to stop your anger unless you see emptiness. You cannot put a permanent end to your anger unless you see emptiness. There are all these little tricks that we learn. There are all these sweet things that we learn to do to mitigate it, and to lessen it, and to temper it, and to rein it in, and to make it a lot less, right? But we can't ultimately end any mental affliction without a direct perception of ultimate reality. Okay.